everyone. Good Tuesday evening to you. Welcome to WSAZ Plus. I'm Taylor Eaton. Hope you're having a wonderful Tuesday so far. I always appreciate you tuning in here as we take a look at our headlines. And we've got a few things coming up for you tonight at 10 and 11 that we are going to go over today here on WSAZ Plus. The first being for us here on our broadcast this evening, news of a big event that is coming to Shawnee Sports Complex in Dunbar. That venue is known to have hosted over the years lots of big sporting events. But now you could say it's turning into a bit of a concert venue. And let me pull up some video here on WSAZ Plus as I share a little bit more information with you on what we have learned about this. So you see here the name of the concert event. It is happening this summer, and I'll explain a little bit more about the name behind it here in just a moment and some of the artists that'll be a part of this concert series that is happening this summer at Shawnee Sports Complex in Dunbar. It is going to be August 1st, so Saturday, August 1st. Mark your calendars, and there you see, it was a bit of a spoiler alert. The poster just revealed all of the different hip-hop artists that are going to be a part of this event. Lots of big names that you will recognize, and probably if you're watching with us, that your kids will recognize, and they'll immediately be saying, a lot of your teens will probably be saying, Mom, Dad, I'd really like to get tickets and go to this concert. But county leaders that we spoke with said that they're really hoping this is the first of many events that they can host like this. So if you're like me and you listen to the radio a lot, specifically if you're in kind of that Charleston listening audience, you are going to be very familiar with the name that I'm about to mention, and that is DJ Woody Woods. He's a local DJ, radio personality, and he's so instrumental in the Charleston community about making things happen, trying to bring different shows to the area. So that's where the name for this concert series comes from. It's named after Woody Woods, and county leaders say that he has been instrumental for several years in making this happen. This is not some event that they've just been able to put together overnight. Lots of years of work going into making this happen. So this is going to be really neat to see how they're able to take kind of this sports venue and turn it in to a venue that will be able to host an outdoor concert series. But we had a chance tonight to talk with Woody about this event because he is the coordinator and he has been so big in making this happen for the area. So let me pull up here on WSAZ Plus because we had a chance to talk with Woody, and we're going to hear from him a little bit more here about his work to make this happen and why he felt so compelled to really bring something like this to this area of Kanawha County.
We won't have a Woody Fest too, but we're trying to do this for the next 15, 20 years that that we can bring entertainment to that part of the county.
All right, let me see here. I am going to restart that here on WSAZ Plus so that way we can listen to it again. I think I maybe jumped to the middle of it. So here, let's try. We'll hear from Woody one more time here on WSAZ Plus. Here we go.
It takes a lot of work, and because we want to do it right. If we don't do it right the first time, we won't have a Woody Fest too. But we're trying to do this for the next 15, 20 years that that we can bring entertainment to that part of the county.
All right. Now I got it in its entirety. But I know Woody is really excited about this, as are the different county leaders that we spoke with, especially Commission President, Kanawha County Commission President Ben Salango. He shared with us that this is an event venue, a sporting complex that has brought in millions and millions of dollars in economic impact for the county over the years. And he said that he's really hoping that this is just the first of many events that they're going to be able to do like this here at this venue, because this is a big undertaking. It's something they haven't done before. So tonight at 10 and 11, WSAZ's Luke Hamilton is going to share with us a little bit more about the performers that will be taking the stage come August 1st, how you can get your tickets, when those are going to go on sale, and the different security measures that are going to be in place for this event. Security is a big top priority for the event coordinators and for the county. It's something they've really put a lot of thought and planning into. So we're going to share a whole lot more with you about this event coming up tonight at 10 and 11. I hope that you will tune in. Speaking of another big event for the Charleston area, Festival is right around the corner. This is always such a fun time of the year in Charleston. Festival's kind of their big summer event. And then you have Festifall, where they do a lot more fall time activities. But today we learned the lineup for this year's Festival event happening in Charleston. Organizers say the schedule for this year is packed full of all kinds of fun things in this 10-day celebration. And it all kicks off with a big cookout on Memorial Day. It spans 10 days. The event's executive director says Festival is going to really live up to the name. They're going to have all sorts of things: live music, dance, theater, other visual arts. This year's schedule including a lot of favorites that are always a part of Festival: the Capitol Street Art Fair and the Children's Art Fair. And they're bringing back some old favorites this year: the long-awaited return of the River Queen sternwheeler. So you'll be able to take tours of that. They're going to be doing different events surrounding that sternwheeler. So festivities get underway. They're going to be doing a big Memorial Day cookout at Slack Plaza for the start of Festival in Charleston at 11 o'clock in the morning. It all starts on May 22nd, and it lasts until the last day of May, May 31st. So 10 full days of great things that'll be happening in Charleston. Their slogan is kind of turning Charleston into a work of art. And it really is a neat event to showcase all kinds of beautiful things that happen within the city. It brings everyone together just to celebrate what makes Charleston so special and so unique. So it all begins on May 22nd this year, 10 full days. And if you are looking for the full schedule of events, you would like to get tickets, if you want, you can head to WSAZ.com. We've posted a story with all the different things that are going to be going on for Festival and a link there for you to be able to check out the schedule, plan for your family, and to get your tickets. So it's just one of the many things happening in Charleston this summer, but it is really a fun time in Charleston. So whether you go for the full 10 days or you just go for one or two, you are going to find a whole lot of fun activities for your family for Festival. All right, next here this evening on WSAZ Plus, a traffic alert that I need to tell you about. And this is going to be a long-term project, so be prepared. And I'm going to try to help you with the changes and help you with maybe some ways to get around if you need to. But this isn't a full closure of this bridge, so you can still get through. It's just traffic is probably going to be backed up for a good bit at lots of points of this project. And you're just going to need to account for some extra time if this is a route that you normally take for your day-to-day. So the work begins this week on the bridge that connects Ravenswood, West Virginia to Meigs County, Ohio. The official name of the bridge is the William S. Ritchie Jr. Bridge. A lot of people probably know that as the Ravenswood Bridge. So that takes you from Ravenswood to Meigs County, Ohio. But work, according to the West Virginia Department of Transportation, begins this week on a deck replacement project, and this is going to be a big undertaking for them. But the goal is to try to keep traffic flowing. It's not a full closure of the bridge, so you'll still be able to use it, but it is a long-term project. This is not going to be something that's just going to last a few weeks or a few months. This is going to be something you'll need to plan for the foreseeable future. The bridge is going to be down to one lane of traffic, and there will be signals controlling traffic at each end of the bridge. But with that, here's what you need to be prepared for: backups, congestion, slower travel times, especially during the rush hour in the morning and in the evening. And I saw on social media today that Ravenswood officials were really urging people to use caution, especially as you're coming off the bridge. Just make sure that you are aware it is going to be a work zone, and it's going to be a lot for people to get adjusted to since it's just going to be one lane of traffic there on the bridge. So be prepared for that. That work begins this week. So you are going to notice if this is a part of your regular routine, you use this bridge bridge daily, just be prepared. You're going to need to add some extra time to your drive each day, especially if you're heading out for work in the morning or you're coming home in the evening. Just account for some extra traffic because that bridge is going to be down to one lane for the foreseeable future. All right, next tonight here on WSAZ Plus, and this is our final story for us this evening in our headlines. You don't need me to tell you it has been especially dry. We have not had hardly a drop of rain, and I know that we need it. And Tony did say that I think we've got a little bit of rain in the forecast finally, maybe kind of for the back half of the weekend. I don't know how much of a dent that's going to make in the conditions for us, but things have just been incredibly dangerous when it comes to fires and the fire danger risk. And you see here in the video that Andrew Colgrove got today, extreme fire danger. And that is why fire departments are saying it is so important for us to follow those burn restrictions. We talked with firefighters with the W.R. Castle Fire and Rescue in Johnson County, Kentucky. They said that it has already been a particularly busy spring, especially for their department. And we have seen lots of these fires burning all over. And all it takes is one simple spark. And with the conditions that we've had, that can cause that to spread very quickly. Unseasonably warm temperatures, dry fuels, breezy conditions, all of that is a recipe for problems when it comes to fires getting out of control. So it's very important, he said, for the firefighter that we spoke with, the deputy chief with this fire department. He said it's very important for people to be following those burn restrictions. So if you live in Kentucky, the hours that burning is prohibited is between 6 in the morning and 6 in the evening. And you'll want to check because this is different depending on where you live. West Virginia, Kentucky, and Ohio. Each state, each area kind of has its own rules for hours, when you can burn, when you can't burn, how far away from a wooded area you need to be, all that good stuff. So it's always best for you to just check. And if you have any questions, just reach out to your local fire department. They never mind to answer those questions for you. And talk with you about the different safety measures and protocols that we need to be following. But right now, those laws are in place for a reason, and that is why they are saying it is so important. He even said for people to just use common sense about when and where to burn. And a lot of people are just saying, look, right now, if you can, just hold off on burning altogether because it's just one little spark, and that's all that's needed. You get a wind gush, you get these dry conditions, and that's just the recipe for disaster. So it's just very imperative for us right now to all be following those restrictions when it comes to where we live. So again, a simple little search will tell you about the different rules and regulations that are in place for where you live. But as always, if you have any questions at all, firefighters will be happy to help you. But that danger is going to be in place for some time because we heard Tony say it today. We really haven't received any substantial rains in about 2 weeks now. And it's just, we've seen so many different circumstances, especially in stories that we've covered here in the past few weeks of firefighters that have been called out to these situations. Several of them have been burned. Thankfully, it's not been anything too serious, but those situations, they can just get out of control really quick. So just make sure that you're following those burning rules, and if you can, just hold off on any burning until we get some rain. Trying to think of anything else that we've got for you at 10 and 11. We've got, it's really been a busy day of news. We've got a lot of stories that we're going to have. I know at 10 and 11, we've got a really fun little event, and I think it's so nice they do this every year. Some of the different first responding agencies in Hurricane, Putnam County, they do a kind of a meet and greet with their first responding agencies. And it's a very sensory-friendly event. They kind of open that up for children that may have difficulties with different sensory elements for them to come in and meet their first responders in their community in a setting that's a little more quiet. And they can help them to understand that it's not always those really tough situations that you normally would see these first responders in, that they're always there to help you regardless of what's going on. So I know we're going to have some video from that, and we're going to have news updates for you, sports updates, weather updates. So I hope that you will tune in at 10 and 11. But that's a look at all the big headlines that we've got for you here on WSAZ Plus. Always appreciate you tuning in. A reminder, tomorrow here, we are going to have our weekly edition of Backroads and Backstories with Andrew Colgrove. That will be tomorrow, 9 o'clock. So I hope that you will tune in as we unveil where he is heading to, and we premiere that story with you here on WSAZ Plus. And then after that, we'll have your headlines of the evening. So I'll see you back here tomorrow for WSAZ Plus, everyone. And tonight at 10 and 11, 10 o'clock news is now about 45 minutes away. We'll see you then.